What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Wooly, and we have reached the end of the year, y'all. So you know what the fuck that means? It's time for the end of the year videos for 2018. And this year I got 4 of them for you, but we're gonna kick it off with the #1 video, the first one in the chamber, and that is, of course, my top 5 games, series, and movies of 2018. Yes, y'all, you know I've been watching movies, and I've been watching series, and I've been playing them games, and I got my favorite 5 for the whole fucking year, and I'm gonna tell y'all about it, because maybe y'all think the same thing, or maybe not. Maybe you think it's different. Who gives a fuck? It's my list, not yours. Fuck you, nigga, but thank you for watching, because, you know, I appreciate that. But we're gonna get right into this thing, so we'll start off with the games, y'all, and this year was a good year for gaming. Like, I love the games that came out this year, but it wasn't that difficult for me to find my favorite 5 games of the year, because, like, these are the games that I've just been playing ever since they dropped, and I'm still playing them to this day. And just like always, all my lists are in order of release date, so there really isn't any particular game that I rank higher than the other. It's just my favorite 5 that I've liked the entire time of the year that I was playing the shit. So here it is. The first game on my list is, of course, Dragonball Fighters. Yes, the fighting game of Dragon Ball Z that I love so fucking much. When this shit dropped, first of all, when this shit was fucking announced, I was hyped as fuck. So when it finally dropped and I was able to get my hands on it, I was playing this game so goddamn much. The mechanics of the game, the look of the game, the fighting style, the playthrough of it all. I mean, everything was just so fucking on point. The voice acting was great because you had the Japanese and the English voice actors doing the damn thing. And y'all saw my hilarious gameplays of the shit. I mean, come on, them shits was classic as fuck. So, like, I just loved everything about this game. Even the competitive nature on it. I even did some Dragon Ball Fighters tournaments during this year. Even though Toei kind of souring on that shit, they like stripping tournaments left and right, so I don't know how long that shit's gonna last or this game's gonna last when you take away from the tournament aspect. But even still, the gameplay is great. The DLC on here has been really good, even though they've kind of overkill with the whole Goku Vegeta shit. I mean, they've been solid for the most part, but I really enjoyed this game. I loved everything about it. It's my favorite fighting game to release this year, and I mean, like, it's still back there. It's still back there, and I'm still playing the shit. So definitely Dragon Ball Fighters is the #1 fighting game for me this year, and definitely in the top 5 for the whole year for me as far as games go. So the next game on the list is one of the, like, this would have been my game of the year. I mean, this was in the contention for game of the year, but, like, this game was fucking phenomenal, y'all, and, like, everything about it was just so on point, and I just love the fact that they were able to reboot this franchise, give it a little bit of a facelift, and it still came off amazing just as before. I'm talking about God of War. What else could I say about the homie Kratos? Like, the motherfucker's just a G. And then he's a dad too, so like we got shit in common. Like, I mean, literally, I say boy all the time to Adrian because this motherfucker, I mean, boy, boy, boy. And it's all because of Kratos, because, like, you know, the way he says that shit, like, it's some authority in that motherfucking thing, and it works. It really does fucking work. But as far as the game's concerned, the story is amazing. The fact that they moved it from Greek to Norse mythology so seamlessly, and they also, like, lend it back to his original origin story, which was dope. But we also get to learn about Atreus, the whole bonding between them, the whole father-son aspect. The gameplay is great. The weaponry is great. The upgrades and shit that you can do, and it's just so much to the game, even after you beat the game, that you can do that really does challenge your skills and just your knowledge of the game, and the great puzzles, and of course the great enemies and boss fights. This shit is on point. I see why it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, rightfully so. It's not my game of the year, but I mean, I see why. But honestly, yo, it's in the top 3 for me, definitely. And God of War is a phenomenal game, from the acting, the look of it, the characters, the dynamic of the whole thing. It's just amazing. It's breathtaking, and I just can't wait for the next God of War. Like, cause you know, I think the motherfucker Thor is pissed. I mean, if you've seen the game, I think, cause we didn't see Thor in God of War, so he's got to be in God of War 2 if he ain't busy with the Avengers shit. I mean, he can double duty. I mean, he can do that. He's a god. He can do that shit. I know he can. But God of War, definitely in the top 5 of the year. Shit's fire. The next game on the list, y'all, is another fire-ass game that was Game of the Year contender, and I love this motherfucker. Like, he's one of my favorite superheroes of all time, so when they dropped this game and announced it, I was hyped for the shit, and it lived up to all my expectations. I'm talking about SpiderMan. Yes, SpiderMan for PS4. When that shit came out, y'all, like, I was in love with this game from the moment I got my hands on it. The story is great. The fighting mechanics is great. And if you're into the whole Spider-Man universe and the Marvel universe, it's just, it gives you everything you want. It's got the great villains in here. I mean, you got Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, Scorpion, Rhino, Mr. Negative, Doc Ock. I mean, just like a great cast of villains for Spidey to go against. Spider-Man himself, just as Peter Parker, has a great story. The motherfucker don't ever pay his rent, but it's all good. I mean, not really. I mean, I don't know how he's still surviving in New York. It's expensive out there, y'all. It really is. But the point is this: the game is phenomenal. The DLC with Black Cat Fine Ass, I miss her. I really do. It's amazing with Hammerhead, and I haven't started Silver Lining yet, y'all. I'm gonna start that shit like real soon because I gotta get that shit done. But when I see it, I know Silver Sable's in that motherfucker, and I missed her too. We still gotta go to Fogo. I mean, the date's still there, Sable. I love you. I mean, not as much as Cat. I don't know. I'm a hoe. I'm a hoe in this game. It don't matter, y'all. But the point is this. SpiderMan is an amazing game, and it definitely could have won Game of the Year. It was pretty much my Game of the Year up to the point before like my actual Game of the Year dropped. But like honestly, phenomenal game. Everything about it is great. If you've played Spider-Man, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Swanging around the city, fucking niggas up, and just saving the day, and getting phone calls from Miles because he want to be a part of the squad. No, nigga, I don't give a fuck if we got a movie, nigga. No, it's not happening. Fuck you. He's still cool, though. He's still cool. Kind of, sort of, but he's annoying. He's annoying as fuck. But the game is dope. Definitely play it if you have not. It's one of the best of the year, easily. The next game on the list, y'all, was very highly anticipated. It took years and years for this shit to fucking finally come out, but when it did, it lived up to everything that it was expected. It was massive. It's like shit. I mean, it's one of the biggest games I've ever played, one of the longest games I've ever played. I'm still playing this shit on the epilogue scene, but the story in itself is amazing. I'm talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. Come on now. I mean, like, I've had some debates. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But the game itself is phenomenal. It looks beautiful. The setting of the Wild West before like everything just fucked up completely was amazing. Just the traveling, you know, you playing as Arthur and just his story and your whole camp and the shit with Dutch and Micah and everybody else in the fucking whole squad. It's just the story just takes a crazy cinematic like approach to it. It looks amazing. It plays great. There's so much you can do, from the gunfights to the poker game, so you can catch a show, you can take a bath with some fine ass chick rubbing you down, but she ain't gonna give you none because like she don't do that. She a good girl. She's a good girl unless you pay enough. I ain't paying enough. I'm broke, y'all, but don't matter. But the point is this: the game is phenomenal. There's so much to it. It's massive, and like just when you think the game is over, it's not over. It's like so much more content that you can do, and you get more than your money's worth with this game. And like, I mean, the game's $60, but it felt like it should have been 120 for as much as you get with this goddamn thing. But it's an amazing game. Definitely worth being a Game of the Year contender, and it's just a phenomenal game. The folks over at Rockstar did their damn thing, and I can't wait for the next Rockstar game, Bully 2, which should be. Don't fuck with me, Rockstar. And if that comes out, the Rockstar, you're all right by me. But Red Dead Redemption 2, amazing game. Definitely check it out and play it if you have not, because it's that fire. List, y'all, I guess it's my quote-unquote Game of the Year, and it's because maybe I'm partial, maybe I'm biased, but goddamn it, this game is fucking amazing, and I'm still playing it all day, every goddamn day. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Come on now. How can you not love Smash? It's Smash. It's got everybody's there. All the characters are there. All the stages are there. Plus more stages. Plus more new characters. Music is on point. The fucking story World of Light is crazy. I mean, you think you're done, but you're not. It's so much content. The online's there. Fucking all the modes. I mean, come on. Smash is everything that I wanted plus more. When that shit dropped, it was National Smash Day and everybody was playing that shit. Motherfuckers was running phase. Motherfuckers was talking shit. Motherfuckers was taking L's. It was all fucking war on that fucking game because everybody just loves Smash. You got your mains. You got the people that you fuck with. You got the people that you play against. Like, it's like the whole competitive scene is there. It's just everything that we love about Super Smash Bros. They got it right. Like the previous Smash Bros. Before were like okay, but this one is probably the best Smash game since Melee, easily to me. It's just amazing. Like, it looks great. Everything about it is just like, I want to play it right now, y'all. The Switch is back there, like, yo, like, can I play? No, I gotta do the video. I gotta do the video. Just look, no, don't play Smash, Granddad. You're doing video. But look, the game is fire. You usually, if you played Smash, you know this is the best Smash it's been since Melee. And if like, I ain't got nothing else to say, y'all. Like, I'm trying to hold my excitement. See, Adrian's asleep right now, so I'm not trying to be too excited about this, y'all. But Smash is fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. But yo, check it out. Dope ass game. Crazy modes. All the characters. Over 70 characters. 70. And they all fire. Even though that bitch nigga Donkey Kong is there, fuck him. But everybody but Donkey Kong, fire. It may be Game & Watch, because sometimes he be fucking with me. That's all good. But everybody else, fire. So check out the game. Play it. If you ain't got a Switch, it's definitely worth buying a Switch for. Like, a Switch is an amazing console. Nintendo's been doing their damn thing this year with the Switch. And like, Smash is, it closed out the year just right for me, and it's definitely my Game of the Year because it's just fucking amazing. All right, y'all, so those are my top 5 games. So now let's shift over to my top 5 series of the year. Now, here's the thing about the series, y'all. Like, honestly, I ain't been watching like any TV this year. Like regular TV, I don't got time for that shit. So all these fucking series are Netflix series because that's the only time that I got to watch some shit is if it's on Netflix because like I'll be traveling or I'll be here and there or I'll be doing the dad shit. So it's like Netflix shit is like it's easy for me. So like if it was on TV, I ain't seen the shit, so don't get pissed off at me if your fucking favorite show ain't there. Cause fuck TV anyway. Like nobody pay for cable anyway. Internet, nigga. Okay, it's all good. So the first series this is pretty much, I should say top 5 Netflix series because they all from Netflix. But this one came out early in the year, and I think it was a mass slept on series because even I didn't think it was going to be as good as I thought it was going to be. And the shit came out amazing, and I can't wait, and I hope that we do get another season from this. And I'm talking about The End of the Fucking World. Now, this came out like in January of the year, and this was that like British like TV show. I think it was a show that was adopted by Netflix, but they picked it up and it was a really amazing fucking show, and it follows around 2 kids by the names of James and Alyssa, I believe. I think this their name. It's been a while, y'all, but I think it's James and Alyssa. But basically, they're these 2 rebellious kids. One dude, James, is like the psychopath who wants to fucking just kill somebody because he has like no feeling or emotion and he wants to feel something. So he's like got this plan to kill somebody, and he ends up picking Alyssa, who's this like rebellious teen, and she just like wants to do her own thing and like just, you know, be rebellious like any other teenager does. And she ends up taking a liking to James, who like says, okay, I'll fuck with you, but in the back of my mind, I'm trying to fucking kill you. But in this crazy way, they end up like together and falling in love and going on this crazy runaway trip with each other, and a whole bunch of crazy shit happens in between. They got the cops after them, they got their parents looking for them, and it's a whole bunch of crazy shit that goes on. But it's an amazing show that shows that the development of these 2 teenagers who are pretty much terrible people in some way, shape, or form, as they come together, they end up making each other better people while still being who they really are, which are terrible fucking people and crazy fucking kids at the same time. But it's a dope ass series, a very slept on series. I don't think many people talked about it, especially because it came out the beginning of the year. But I think it's something that people need to go check out if they haven't. And I hope Netflix picks up another season from it, because like I know it's made by somebody else, so hopefully they get the second season, if there is a second season, because the way that the first season ended was fucking phenomenal, and it's a cliffhanger, and you're like, yo, what the fuck happened? But yo, I just want to see what happens, because I gotta know what happened. Like, what's up with James and Alyssa? What's up with the kids? Like, I mean, they ain't kids no more. They like pretty much adults, but they 17. That's close enough, but not really. But point is this, they doing some crazy shit. Show is fucking dope. Definitely check it out. The End of the Fucking World is a show that you need to see. Really on point. And it's like, it's a slept on joint, so I had to talk about it. The next show, y'all, I might be a little partial because, you know, I'm in the shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm in the shit. I'm still waiting for that check, Netflix. They ain't gonna send it. I ain't gonna fucking send it. It's all good. But it's a hip-hop show on that hip-hop shit, docu-series. I'm talking about the one and the only Rapture. Now, if you've not seen Rapture, it follows the stories of a few different MCs and rappers, and there's their story where they're making the album, where they're going on tour. So you get to see the stories of artists like G-Eazy, Rhapsody. I'm on that episode. Also T.I. Who else is on that motherfucker? I think Nas and Davies. So yeah, it's a lot of dope artists on there, and their stories are all cool. Even Logic's on there is really cool. I like Logic. I mean, his music's meh, but his episode was pretty dope. And you get to learn a lot about Logic as well. Even though he said the same shit that he did, doesn't matter. He said the shit and we heard it again. But I mean, it was more heartfelt in the goddamn series. But it's a dope series. You get to learn a lot about these artists who you may not be fans of their music or too familiar with their music, but you get to see their personality and who they are and how they came to be in the position that they're in. So I think it's really dope. I think it's a show you need to check out if you're into hip hop, and especially check out that Rhapsody episode, because not only is it fire, I'm on it. Like, come on. I'm on this shit. I mean, that's already a reason to watch the shit. At least that episode. I think it's episode 6. Rhapsody. Just look up Rhapsody and there you go. There you fucking go. But Rapture, dope ass series. Hope they bring it back for another season. The next few series, y'all, are all going to be season 2s of series that I've just been fans of from like the prior year or years. And like, so like, I mean, they just kept the momentum going. So first one, Ozark. So Ozark season 2. Ozark is one of my favorite shows. It's got to be one of my top 5 shows ever on Netflix. Jason Bateman and his role in this fucking series is fucking on point. But the thing about season 2, it really focuses on his wife, Wendy. She kind of takes the ball and runs with it on this goddamn season. And like the crazy shit that goes on in this season, y'all, like them trying to get this casino off the ground, and them still dealing with the cartel, and you know, them dealing with all the outside entities that's coming in and trying to fuck shit up, and them trying to just escape, but at the same time keep things on the low profile. And the fucking like all the fucking trading and all the fucking like unloyalty and all the fucking deception, all this shit just goes down in a fucking blaze. But at the same time, you just see this family coming together, even though they know they're doing some fucked up shit. They're coming together and they're sticking with one another, and I love just the whole dynamic of that and the character development that goes on in this season. Ozark is a phenomenal show. Watch season 1, then watch season 2, and you know we're gonna get a season 3, and I just cannot fucking wait for that shit, because Marty Bird and Wendy Bird, they the fucking couple of the year as far as I'm concerned, because they getting that money. And I thought about doing it myself, but like I'm broke and I don't have the connections and I don't have a Wendy Bird like level chick with me, so like I think I end up in jail, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna get no videos, and we can't have that. We need the streets need me. The streets need me, and I'm gonna just leave that shit up to the birds. They got it. The next series, y'all, is one that I didn't even review the first season of because I was late to the party, and I just did not get a chance to review season 2 because I just didn't get a chance to watch it until later as well. But I think it's a dope show and it's very funny, and some people might like it, some people might not, but I'm really a fan of it, and I'm talking about Big Mouth. Big Mouth is a very raunchy, R-rated, animated series that follows around the story of Nick Kroll, who I think is a comedian, Nick Kroll, but pretty much his character in adolescence as well as his friends and them going through puberty and them just dealing with all these hormones, and they got the hormone monster and they got all these crazy characters doing all this wild crazy shit. It's like a super goofy, out of this world show, but it's a very like R-rated and like raunchy show at the same time, and I like shit like that. I'm into that type of shit because they just don't give a fuck. They'll say what they want, they'll do what they want, there's no limits, and I love people who can just like take a show and just run with it and say fuck whatever everybody else thinks. We're gonna do it this way and we're gonna do it our way, and I love it, and it's funny. And like from Maury the hormone monster and Coach Steve with his crazy dumb ass and all the kids in here going through their problems. I mean, like from, you know, not being able to hit puberty right, or being considered a pervert, or some of the girls dealing with, you know, their changes and just the embarrassment of being a teenager and the things that you go through. There's so many things that are actually very realistic when you become a teenager and you're in your adolescence and you worry about that. You know, when you think of it as an adult, you think it's kind of silly, but these kids, this is their lives at this point, and they're just going through a whole bunch of crazy changes and shit, and the fact that they're able to put it in a very comedic and very in-your-face and raunchy way and do it, and they have it come out very, very, you know, clever at times. I really enjoy this show, so I think we're gonna get a season 3 of Big Mouth. I really enjoy it. I can't wait to see how it plays out, and you know, it's just a funny ass show. So if you ain't seen Big Mouth, watch season 1 and season 2 if you into that shit. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I fuck with it. And the last show on my list, y'all, for my top 5 series goes to another season 2 joint, and it is Castlevania season 2. Now, I talked about this with the homie Luke James on this podcast, so if you want to know my full thoughts on that, check out his podcast, the episode I'm on. It's a dope ass podcast. Check that out. We talked about it. But just to give you a little synopsis on it, it's fucking dope. Like the story of it, the character progression, Dracula's depressed ass on here, as well as the actions between Trevor and Alucard and Cypher and their little union, their little, you know, thing they're going on, and the team that they got together, as well as Carmella, her crazy ass, and everything that just happens in this season is fucking amazing. Like, I just love how they kind of like peeled back on the action and kind of gave us more character development and story building, but when the action did show up, it was fucking more than enough to hold us over with the blood and the gore and the intenseness and the monsters and the creatures. You got the Morningstar whip back in this motherfucker, and I'm not gonna give too much else away, but like, it's fucking dope. And if you are a fan of the game Castlevania, you're gonna love this series. And even if you're not a fan or you didn't play the Castlevania games, because I didn't play them growing up, I'm still a fan of this series because it's fucking dope. The animation is great, the acting, the voicing is great, the fucking action's on point, and just to see these characters develop and the way that they just unfold is so amazing. You feel bad for characters like Dracula, even though he's the villain. You feel bad for characters like fucking Alucard. You feel bad for just a lot of characters, but also you just champion a lot of characters as well because you want to see them do better and you do root for them. So it's a dope ass series. Check out Castlevania, especially if you're a fan of the game, but if not, just watch it anyway if you're a fan of like anime and shit like that, because it is more of an anime style thing, but it's fucking dope. It looks great. It's an amazing season, and I can't wait for season 3 because they did get picked up for that shit, and I'm waiting to watch that shit because it's going to be on fucking point. And that's my top 5 series, y'all. So now let's go round this shit out with my top 5 movies of 2018, y'all. And like, I saw a few movies this year, y'all, but these are my favorite 5, y'all. And pretty much all these movies here, I have to say I did review except for one. And that's just that because I couldn't get time to review it, but it is on the list. But we'll start up at the top. The first one, of course, Wakanda Forever, Black Panther. Come on now, Black Panther was a phenomenon. Motherfuckers love Black Panther. We had a movie finally. Come on, like I ain't got. It's self-explanatory. Watch the review. But Black Panther, as far as a Marvel movie is concerned, the story is amazing. The cast is amazing. The everything about this movie just lived up to its expectations. And I've heard some people say that this movie is overrated, and I have to say fuck you to those people, because they don't know the fuck they're talking about. Bite the curb and kill yourself. Okay, that was a little harsh, but I'm just saying, just bite the curb. Just bite the curb and fucking petite. But I mean, like I said, everything about this movie just fucking worked for me. I was really proud that we were able to showcase everybody that with a black cast and a black director and just everybody just, you know, coming together, we can make an amazing movie. And then just look how many records and box office records we broke, and just like how many awards it won, and just like the whole phenomenon of Black Panther. And we showed up, us as a black people, we showed up and supported this movie. And when you show up and support, you can just see the power that we have. So it's a dope ass movie. I'm glad it did so well, and I hope we get a sequel, even though, like, I mean, because of what happened after, like, but it might happen. We don't know. We don't know what's in the pipeline. Like, something's gonna happen, y'all. But point is this: we need more Black Panther in the system, and I just hope that this isn't a one and done, because the movie was phenomenal. Definitely one of my favorites of the year, hands down. The next movie on the list, y'all, was a movie that's also a Marvel joint, and I mean, it might have just erased completely my whole Black Panther 2, you know, dreams, because, you know, Thanos was snapping on half these motherfuckers in the world, and like, Black Panther was one of them. Avengers Infinity War is on the list, y'all. And why would it not be? This movie is fucking amazing as well. Like, Marvel's been on a roll, goddammit, but this movie right here, just from a story standpoint, because I was worried, how are they gonna fit all these characters in here? And they did it in a brilliant way by kind of sectioning them off into different kind of subplots, and then having everything just come back together in the end. But also, this feels more like a Thanos movie with the Avengers rather than an Avengers movie with Thanos, because it's very heavily just centered around Thanos trying to get these Infinity Stones and the shit that he does, and the people he encounters, and the heroes and the villains and all that shit. And just, you know, everybody knows what happens at the end. Just he snapped, and half the world. I'm still here, and my people's still here, but we lost some good motherfuckers. We lost, all the black people died, I think. Yeah, all the black people. The Falcon, all the niggas died, except for. You shouldn't see. That's what happens when you become a nigga and a superhero at the same time. You get snapped on. Like, Thanos is racist. I know he is, but that's all good. I mean, like, we'll get back there. We're gonna get back there. I hope. But the movie is phenomenal. It's really like a great fucking amazing movie, and I just can't wait to see how this whole thing ends with the last Avengers movie that's gonna drop next year. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna be on my list too, if it's just as good as this one. But Avengers Infinity War, fucking on point. Definitely see it if you haven't. I kind of spoiled some shit if you haven't, but it's your fucking fault. The movie's been out forever. Like, don't be slacking. That's what happens when you fucking slack. The next movie, y'all, is the only movie on the list that I did not get a chance to review, and I'm super upset about it, because it's an amazing movie. It's a Spike Lee joint, and it's a movie that I just think was pulled off very, very well. I'm talking about BlacKkKlansman. Now, BlacKkKlansman, y'all, is a movie that centers around a cop who goes undercover to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan. I think it's back in the 70s. It's set in the 70s, but he's a black officer. He's on the phone talking to the Ku Klux Klan, but he's sending a decoy who's a white dude out to actually go meet with them, and he's trying to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan and just see what they're all about. It stars John David Washington, who is Denzel Washington's son, and like, I mean, if he was ever living in the shadow of his daddy, from this performance, he has completely escaped that, because this motherfucker, he's got all his daddy's skill sets. He is an amazing talent. He's an amazing actor, but he also sets himself apart in this role. He is very, very clever. His delivery of his lines is on point. This movie is funny. It's witty, but at the same time, it's very serious. And there's a lot of moments on here where you're gonna be kind of like wince and be a little bit cringy, but not cringy in a bad way, but just some uncomfortable moments, because it's also very real and just very like, just on point to what was happening at the time, especially with, you know, white supremacists and, you know, people in that time frame. And another crazy part about it is this is actually based on an actual true story. So the fact that these events really did happen, even though, you know, Hollywood embellishes some things here and there, the fact that the majority of this story actually happened was fucking amazing. And like the fact that Spike Lee was able to tell this story and walk that fine line so well with keeping it very, very serious at times, but also being very lighthearted and comedic, to not make it seem so serious or so just much of a downer of a movie. It's just on point. The acting is great, and I think it's a movie that needs to be seen if you have not seen it. I'm not going to give too much away because it's a long movie, but there's a lot of things about this movie that you can just really just sit and resonate and think about with from a lot of standpoints. So BlacKkKlansman, dope ass movie, one of Spike Lee's best movies in years, and the talent on here is amazing, and they did their damn thing. And like, yo, Denzel Washington's son, like, He about to be the next Denzel. Wait, he is. I mean, he ain't gonna be the next Denzel because Denzel's still alive, but he could be like Denzel Jr. But he is Denzel Jr. He's good. He's fucking good. Watch the movie. The next movie on the list, y'all, I did review, and when I first reviewed it, I said, like, I didn't know how to feel about it because, like, it was really, like, it was just so much to it, but I watched it again, and it really just resonated with me the second time a lot better, and I just really saw the genius of this movie after that, so I'm going to put it on the list, y'all, and I'm talking about Sorry to Bother You, the Boots Riley movie starring Lakeith Stanfield, the crazy-ass fucking movie. Like, this movie is so wild. First of all, it's hilarious. It's on point. It talks a lot about things with race and classism and society and just how people treat other people and just the decisions you make in life to kind of get ahead and a whole bunch of things in between. And there's just a lot of crazy, random, weird, amazing moments in this movie, and there's a lot of things that I didn't pick up in the first time I saw the movie that I picked up in the second time, which even opened my eyes up more to this movie. And I think it's just an amazing piece of work. I think Boots Riley did a great job with this film. I think Lakeith Stanfield did a great job with this film, as well as the rest of the cast. And just the ending, though, the ending is still fucking wild as shit. So if you've not seen Sorry to Bother You, definitely check out this movie. It might put you off, especially the ending, because it's a little fucking crazy, but if you really just sit and resonate with it, even watch it probably 2-3 more times, a lot of things will start to click and make sense a lot more. It did for me. And after like watching it again and then like watching other reviewers talk about it and just picking up on things, it really did just like really make me think like, wow, this movie is a lot more to it than what it seems from like face value. But at face value, it's still very entertaining. It's a very, very enjoyable movie. There's a lot of moments on here that are gonna make you want to laugh, make you want to think, and everything in between. So I just think it's a dope ass movie, and it needs to be a movie that people talk about more. It's probably gonna be on some people's list as well, but if not, it's definitely on this one because it is a dope ass movie. So Sorry to Bother You, it's on point, definitely in my top 5. And the last movie on the list, y'all, goes to a movie that I was waiting for to drop ever since it was announced because it's centered around one of my favorite rock bands of all time, Queen. I'm talking about none other than Bohemian Rhapsody. This movie was fucking outstanding to me. Like, Rami Malek, who plays Freddie Mercury in here, did an amazing job. His mannerisms, the way that he spoke and moved just was so much like Freddie Mercury. It was amazing. The way that he sung, even though I'm pretty sure he was singing dubs of Freddie Mercury's. I don't think he can sing that well. If he can, goddamn it. But the point is that this movie is just so well crafted, and the music itself, just seeing the process of Queen making a legendary, iconic songs like, you know, We Will Rock You and Another One Bites the Dust. And of course the song Bohemian Rhapsody itself and just everything that they went through for that song to get off the ground, because it was a song that was pretty much a song that you couldn't play on the radio. It was way too long. It was so many beat changes and switch ups. It was a song that was clearly ahead of its time, but it's one of the most iconic songs ever, and probably one of the greatest rock songs ever created, like to this day. And I just think that this movie just expresses the greatness that Queen was as a band, but also tells the story of Freddie Mercury so well, his inner demons, the things that he went through, his internal conflict with the band, with his wife, and everything in between. And it's just like, there's so many things about this movie that's great. There's so many great moments from an emotional standpoint, from just a musical standpoint, that'll just make you just feel so many types of ways. But at the end of it all, you're gonna just be proud that you are a fan of Queen, a fan of Freddie Mercury's work, and to see that his likeness is portrayed so well on this screen and on this movie just makes you feel like, honestly, like by the time I left that movie theater, I was playing Queen songs all day for like the next like 3-4 days because I was just so hyped about this movie, and it's definitely worth the watch. Check this out, one of the best well done biopics I've seen in recent years. Bohemian Rhapsody, definitely in the top 5 because it's that fire. And that's going to do it for my first list, y'all. That's my top 5 games, series, and movies of 2018. So let me know what you think of the list. If you like it, if you don't like it, if you fuck with it, if you don't fuck with it, if you think I'm fucking stupid because my list is whack, or if you think it's the shit. I honestly don't give a fuck because it's my list, y'all. Fuck you, make your own if you don't like it. But just let me know what your favorite 5 games, series, or movies of the year was. We'll talk about this shit. You know how we do this shit every year. But there it is, y'all. That's the first list done. The next list we're going to talk about are my top 10 unreviewed albums. Just albums that I did not review. Either I slept on them or I just didn't get a chance to review them. As well as my top 5 letdowns of 2018. So that video is going to be next. That'll be dropping tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that shit. And then we got more videos coming after that. So give it a thumbs up. drop a comment. Tell me what your favorite 5 series, games, and movies are. Like I said before, let's talk about that shit, as well as just let me know what you think of my list. We can have some back and forth about it, and just look out for the rest of the shit that's gonna be dropping, because like it's the end of the year, y'all. So you know I gotta get these lists out. And 2019 is rapidly approaching, and a lot of shit's about to happen. But let's wrap this up right. So until next time, I take my leave. Granddaughter. Top 5 games, series, movies of 2018. Let me know what you think of the list and tell me yours, because you know we like to talk about that shit. And that's what it is. I'm out of here.